Last night, he was being strongly linked with a move to the MLS. I'm talking about Arsenal midfielder Mesut Özil. In the last few moments, we are hearing unconfirmed reports coming out of Turkey that Özil is on his way to Turkey to join Fenerbahce, having agreed a 3.5-year deal. So it seems like Arsenal will carry on trying to improve their situation under Arteta and will carry on without Mesut Özil. What's your take on that? Do you think it's almost certain that he'll return to Turkey and play for Fenerbahce?
Well, I hope it is, because it's a talented player that's not been able to play football recently. And whatever's gone on at Arsenal Football Club with him, with the board, with Mikel Arteta, the fact that we're not allowing a player to play, or a player of that quality is not being allowed to play for whatever reason, I think it's almost criminal. I'm pleased that he's going to go back to Turkey and play for Fenerbahce. I'm sure he wants to get on with his career. I'm sure Arsenal are happy to get him off the wage bill. And I think for Mikel Arteta, it just clarifies things for him. He can get on with the squad that he's got, and especially the young players that have come into that squad and done superbly well, especially in recent games. I just think it clears everything up for Arsenal and for the fans.
Do you think so, Sam?
When you say
job done, really?
Well, I think it should have been done some time ago.
Everybody happy?
Yeah. Right, I think it should have been done some time ago. When you say hasn't been allowed to play, if you were in his shoes, for whatever reason, Mesut Özil has been excluded by two managers. Right? And two managers with very different styles, different outlooks, different dispositions, and no particular bias towards Mesut Özil. So you have to turn around and say all roads lead back to Mesut Özil being the central problem.
Not necessarily.
Well, if you look at it and say,
we're not privy to that.
If you're a club and you've got a player like Mesut Özil and you want him marginalised, right, because you want to get him out the door, you do that. But they've been paying him and £1 million loyalty bonus for this, so it's not about finances. It has to come down to, in the end, there being a certain problem about the way the player operates. But if you're a player and you want to play, and to follow your analysis that, the world's been denied his presence, wouldn't you just put in a transfer request?
Yeah, I think that's always should have been an option for him, and I don't know the reasons behind
money,
him
I suspect, because he's getting paid very well at Arsenal.
Possibly. I mean, it's easy to say that, Simon, but for me, we're not privy to knowing the reason for him not playing football. I think there's more to it, and hopefully that.
But if you want to play, Trevor, if you have integrity about wanting to play in this very short career that we often hear, which can afford to be short if you're getting paid £300,000 a week, but if you want to play, surely you do everything you can. Once you've been made clear that you are not part of the plans, and you've been made clear by two different managers that have two different approaches, you would take the bull by the horns, wouldn't you, and say, I want to play. You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think I would. But we're not privy to the situation. He might have gone to the board and said, listen, I'm going to put a transfer request in. Will that make it happen? And they might have said no. Now, putting it into the public domain, if they've said no, that might even complicate
Trevor,
things
if you put a transfer request in, you lose your loyalty bonus, don't you?
I understand that, yeah, of course.
So that's why he didn't put a transfer request in, because he got a £1 million loyalty bonus in August.
Like I say, Simon, it's easy to say that until everything comes out in the wash, we will not know. And, for me, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say possibly he must have gone to the board and said, "Well, I'll put a transfer request in." But until we know the actual facts, we don't. Yeah. We've just speculated.
Well, some reports coming out saying that he's actually signed a 3.5-year deal. Others saying that he's agreed it. But whatever way you look at it, it looks like his days are numbered at Arsenal now, and he could well be heading to Turkey to join Fenerbahce.
Well,
it's a ridiculous set of circumstances.
But they are anyway, aren't they, Jim? Because his contract expires in June of this year, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we're talking about moments in time.
Yeah.
And how counterproductive it is to read Mesut Ozil's unnecessary, slightly snide tweets, or his observations about which particular mascot he's going to pay at the time. I don't think those are helpful to Arsenal, full stop. So I'd be glad to see him go.
We get that impression, Trevor, don't we? We get that impression that Jordan won't miss him much.